Hey guys, so I wanted to make today's little video about a pretty common question revolving around voice, which is, can I sing? Or another variant of that is, who cannot sing or am I not able to sing? And I'll start off by giving a comprehensive, ultimate list on all of the people who cannot sing. The answer is nobody, and there's a couple reasons why. One, I think most people that cannot sing, or I would officially put under that banner, are a lot of people that don't give themselves the chance. And that's okay. I mean, not you can't force anyone to get into any sort of instrument or any form of a hobby or profession. But I think a lot of people just sell themselves short. I also think there's an over obsession about tessitores. I think some people that I'll have a guy come into sessions and be like, I can't hit that because I'm a baritone. Well, who said that? Maybe, maybe not. Have we tried? Have you tried to see what your voice can do yet? Or is that just something you're telling yourself because you're just confident that you can achieve what we're talking about? So then it goes into the next point, which is probably the most frustrating thing I ever hear as a coach, especially when I see this stuff in my feed, which is when somebody says a singer, quote unquote, cannot sing. That has a few problems with it. And the first one is, whenever someone says that, it's like they're making a sweeping generalization that whoever is deemed that they cannot sing should just go in a hole, bury themselves, and never show up in the light of day ever again. Like, that's it. You cannot sing, therefore you're not allowed to grace a microphone ever again. And so the next question I ask someone like that is, okay, who can sing, but why? I want to know. And usually when I get to that point, I get a lot of frustration from people. Typically, a lot of people that I'm very happy to be negative in general, or just very hateful. And this happens in a lot of bandwagon situations. This is actually one of the main reasons why I didn't want to be negative about the Puddle of Mudd guy, because number one, he's got plenty of it. Trust me, I don't think he's escaped criticism for his performance of Just a Girl. I get the title right. This is how little I know about that. And again, you can see I didn't make the video because I'm like, oh, I'm a big Puddle of Mudd fan. I watched it. I got tagged. I didn't think it was fair. People have bad nights. I'm more concerned about his health vocally. And I think as a vocal coach, if you want to give a reaction to a video like that, you should talk about the guy was your student. And first thing I'd say is, get the chords checked. But that being said, I see this a lot. Mariah Carey, New Year's Eve, everyone just horrible. And there were things she did wrong. Yeah, she did not have a demeanor that I thought was very professional, of course. But to judge someone dressed in an outfit like that in a wind tunnel, also known as Times Square, in January for lip syncing and avoiding breathing that air in and performing, you've got to be kidding me. You've got to be kidding me. Cut him a break. Fergie National Anthem. Yeah, there's some problems with that, but we can learn from those kinds of videos. For instance, we can learn from the Fergie one that, if you do melismas, if you want to do runs on a song and you don't know the runs ahead of time, it's not a good idea. Could she have done a better job? Yes, we get it. Trust me, she knows she could have done a better job. But there's a lesson to be learned from that. And there's a lesson to be learned from any mistake that you see. Any of them. And which goes on my next point. Mistakes. People have this idea in their head that if you make a mistake, it's like this thing that is reflective of your inner soul as a person. If you crack once or twice in front of somebody, I think that's one of the most common things I see on my early lessons with students is when they're afraid to crack. Like for me, it's like the more you are terrified of the upcoming crack, the more tension you're going to apply to your neck, the more tension you're going to apply to your larynx, and a lot of your systems as a vocalist might be a little harder to use. So it's better to have one little bump, here and there, and move on. Just continue forward and stay relaxed, stay cool, than one cascading into a million problems. Do you not want to crack? Absolutely. If one happens, what do? Move forward. You move forward. You note it. The crack might not be as bad as you think it is, because if anyone's going to be critical about whatever mistake you make, it will be yourself, more than anyone else. So That being said, mistakes. I make them. Everyone makes them. And if I make them, I try to figure out what caused it. You got a long touring schedule coming up, or whatever you got going on. You got to run. You have a long studio day ahead of you. Something happens, you think to yourself, okay, did I have enough water today? Did I have a lot of caffeine today? Am I dry? How much singing have I done today? Have I done a lot of talking? For instance, there was one show I did in 2016. I got to perform with the Baltimore Rock Opera Society alongside the concert artists of Baltimore. And they don't know this, so if you guys are tuning in, I'm so sorry about this next story. It went fine. But so the night before, I think it was the second weekend. This is a giant event where basically, think massive rock opera, towering walls of projected fire in this beautiful venue, gigantic sprawling stage of stuff with a full-length symphony backing us up. And I have a giant laser guitar sword in my hand and stuff. I've seen some stuff, guys. So the night before, I had a podcast on my kind of nerd channel. And I was defending a movie that came out. It was Batman vs. Superman. Yes, I will defend to the grave. I went on for about 4 or 5 hours, just defiantly defending this movie. I come into the theater the next day, or that's the venue, and this lighting guy, Tim, great guy, he looks at me, he's like, hey man, have you seen BVS? And I looked around, I knew everyone hated the movie. I looked around, yeah, I saw it. What about, did you see it? He's like, yeah, what did you think? I liked it. Oh, thank God, I liked it too. So like that's the vibe. That's how much I was defending the movie. So here I am on stage of the symphony doing this big finale and stuff. And I realized right before I went up there, I was like, oh my God, my voice is tired because of the dumb comic book movie. Did it mean I was a bad singer? I don't know about that. I got the job done. I hit all the notes and everything. Got a nice E5 finale. I think it was a G5 I put in there too. Got the job done. But I'm back up. I'm kind of like, I'm never doing this ever. I'm never doing this ever again. It's terrible. So I've learned a lot from that one. I also found out that I'm allergic to dust mites afterwards, and the rack room of that was had a lot of dust. So I wasn't sure if it was because of dust mites or not. But after I got tested, I figured that out. I found out because I'm a singer, I'm allergic to dogs. I'm allergic to salmon. I'm allergic to birch trees. Didn't know about these things. But when you're on the road, it's good to know. So there were a lot of mystery performances where things were not going right. Did it mean I was a bad singer? No. It meant that those mistakes were revealing something. And it was something we could find out about and then correct in our voice. So really, mistakes are something to be embraced and something to be learned from. It might be like any art form. As long as you're not hurting yourself, and you grow from whatever the mistake was, you learn from it, you adapt. The more you're afraid of them, the more likely they're going to happen. And the more you think, oh, cool, I had a little crack or whatever. What happened today? I had a little too much cheese, and I don't respond well to dairy. So, okay, I had a little bit of that today. So that's how we figure out these problems. Not having this mystery thing we'll never fix, and then you'll never be a good singer ever again. No, that's not how we do this. So that being said, that's kind of, I guess, the crux of what I wanted to talk about today, since it's such a common thing I hear about. People always say, do you either have it or you don't? My response is typically, my definition of it is a little different. Yeah, there are some singers that have some more tools early on. Of course, I'm not going to lie about that. However, I think that the most interesting and effective attribute a vocalist can have is a desire to become great, a desire to become the best they possibly can. The more hungry a vocalist is, it's usually correlating with how great they could become. Those are the ones you really want to watch out for. Those are the ones that really can pull off some dazzling performances. And there are some singers that already have a lot and they're already kind of in their arsenal from the get-go who also are super hungry. Those dudes are also great too. But yeah, there's not really any like bad notes in my lessons. It's more about, all right, cool, how can we make that better? How can we make that better? And I think the more positive you look at this, and the more excited you are to sing well, as opposed to how terrified you are to sing poorly, I think that, my personal opinion, it seems to be the most effective way to get a vocalist to perform well. So that being said, I have a question for you guys. Have you ever been told that you cannot sing? When did that happen? How did it make you feel? I know, probably not great, but I want to hear your stories about this stuff. One of my favorite things about being a vocal coach is popping the bubble of anxiety about this kind of stuff. So that being said, if you have not already, hit the like button below and subscribe to the channel. I'll be posting more of these soon, and thank you guys so much.